Hi, my name is Emily Cherkin, and I'm the Screentime Consultant. I'm also a parent and a former classroom teacher. Our lives have changed a lot in the last 6 months, and for many of us, our challenges related to screen time have increased. When people find out what I do for work, I get responses that range from, "Oh yeah, we're really on top of screen time in our house," all the way to, "You don't even want to know what goes on in our house." And I understand. Parents can even get kind of defensive about their own screen use because they know this is really hard. It's why I often joke that I need a sandwich board that says, "I'm not judging you," across it. I get it too. I'm a parent, and the screen time struggles were real before the global pandemic happened. And now we have a global pandemic that has thrown everything we know about screen time into sharp relief. I often say I'm not anti-technology, I am tech intentional. So today I want to talk about what does it mean to be tech intentional, especially during a global pandemic. For the past few months, we've been trying to work from home. We've been trying to help our kids learn from home. We've been relying on our social media feeds and Zoom calls to interact with families, to socialize, to stay connected, on top of worrying about what the future holds. One of the foundations about what I teach, and my philosophy is rooted heavily in this idea of being tech intentional, it means to me 4 things. First of all, not all technology is created equal. It's not the same thing to FaceTime with a friend or to watch videos of someone else playing video games. It's not the same thing to consume an educational programming on NASA versus watching YouTube videos on a loop. There are differences in the way we take in information, the way it impacts our brain and our ability to focus, and those are important distinctions to make. So in order to be tech intentional, we have to recognize that not all tech is created equal, and we need to call it what it is when it is. Secondly, it's also all about choices. It's like eating chocolate cake. We don't eat chocolate cake every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That would make us not feel good. So it's also true that with screen time, we have to make choices. It's not an all or nothing proposition. It's a sum plus our values. So when we tie in how we decide to use screens to the values we have in our house, we are more likely to have success with setting limits. Another way of being tech intentional is having clear expectations and being really consistent in our follow through. This is so hard, and a pandemic certainly made this even more challenging as we tried to manage all of the different pieces that were up in the air during the last few months. But it's really important. If we can communicate clearly what our expectations are, before you use the iPad, you need to do this. Or my expectation is, in order for you to have gaming time today, this family responsibility needs to be taken care of. When we can be clear with our expectations to our children and then consistent in holding them accountable, we are more likely to have success with managing the screen time. Finally, we have to be able to own and talk about our own challenges with screen time. And this is really hard because as adults, we use our devices probably more than we want, and even more so now in the last 6 months. We're really tethered to them. If we can talk openly about how it's hard to put them down, why we're so easily distracted, how we feel when we're overwhelmed by them, then we start to give our kids vocabulary to know how to talk about how they use screens in their own life. Being tech intentional means that you have thought about how you want screens and technology to use to look in your family, and it is in combination with the values you hold as a family. The important thing is to keep talking about it, to keep checking in with your kids about what's working and what isn't, and to be flexible and open to change as your kids adapt and change and grow too. And as our pandemic situation has shown us, our world changes. Being a tech intentional means that it is an opportunity to reframe how we think, talk, and use screens in our life. Thanks for watching.